Cryptocurrencies related to Axie Infinity, such as Ethereum, are down to 4.1k, AXS is down to $130, and SLP is down to 6 cents. But today I'm gonna explain to you why exactly it's a good time to buy Axies for yourself or for a scholar, and why you should really look into some of the more meta Axies that are gonna do well in the arena. Hello and welcome guys, it's Axie, and 2 weeks ago I have released a video why you shouldn't buy Axies, because there was a spike, an influx of players into the game, and Axies were really not being bred. At the time of the video, which was 2 weeks ago, there was only 380,000 Axies being sold or listed for sale. Currently we have close to 600,000 Axies for sale. That means there was a large breeding event in the last 2 weeks when it comes to breeding Axies for the new meta, such as bugs, aquas, and some of the dusks, and those have dropped in price significantly. I'm going to show you a couple of examples comparing prices from 2 weeks ago to prices right now of the same exact Axies. But before we do that, there is a breeding event which is causing this spike in breeds, and that's the 10 million Axie event. So a couple of days ago, Axie Infinity has released that there will be a breeding event for the 10th million Axie, and what that basically means is that if you are lucky enough to breed an Axie that has the 10th million ID, you will be rewarded with the Tansuki item, land item. And now we can check this land item in the marketplace, but you will be rewarded if you are lucky enough. It's just one person. It's kind of a little bit underwhelming for the amount of people that will be breeding for this event, but it is what it is, and we can check the item right now. It is the Tansuki land item. I'm not sure what's the Tanuki, not Tansuki. I'm not sure what is the worth of this item. The environment is mystic, the rarity is also mystic, and it increases the base stats of Axies with Japanese body parts by 10% and increases Chimera item drop rate by 5%. So there's gonna be some utility when land play is released for this item, but nobody really knows the worth of it right now. But that's what you're going to be rewarded with the breeding event. So that is causing a little bit of a spike in the breeding, and also people realized what the meta is right now, and there was an influx of new breeders into the ecosystem, which has increased the total number of Axies for sale. So let's look into some examples. The first example that I can think of, which is really common, is the double Anemone Aquas. Now in the last video, what I have shown you is how I flipped a double Anemone Aqua with exactly Piranha, double Anemone, and Nemo for about $200 profit. I bought it for $250, and 2 weeks ago in the video I sold it for $470. Now if you want to buy this exact same Axie that I have, it's gonna cost you $225. Now that kind of boggles my mind, because double Anemone Aquas together with the bird are still very good. You can even find yourself one that is a virgin with the Goda in R1, allowing you to breed very much more expensive Axie, but it is just $238. If you want to go for the lamb one, it's not going to be that much more expensive. Let's remove the Piranha from the search, and from $220 we go to $250. So that's still not expensive for a team that's a guaranteed to do well in the arena. You can get up to like 2k MMR if you got a good enough bird and you have some experience with this team. You can definitely push far further than 2000 MMR if you have the hair bird. So you can even grab a virgin. They're obviously not gonna be that good when it comes to the genes. You're kind of looking for the triple Anemones, but you can definitely find something for $220, $250, which is a large decrease in price, as 2 weeks ago in the video I have shown you that these were selling for about $450, $470. If you wanted a virgin, it would be $600 to $700. Next thing that we can check for these double Anemones is if we go for Goda. Now Goda used to go for about $500 to $600 about 2 weeks ago, and currently if you want yourself a Goda double Anemone, you're gonna have to pay $360. So not that much of an increase. It's not 50% down, but it is still a decent sale. If you want to go for the low health one, you can go for the eyes and the ears from a bird. That way you have less health, meaning that you're gonna go first if someone has a little bit higher health, if you are playing the same matchup, so a mirror matchup. So $360. If you want to go for a virgin, it's going to be a little bit more. Let's see how much that is. It goes from 360 to 380, but then obviously you need to find some decent enough genes. That's not going to be easy to find when you are looking at gold, but that's what it is. A little bit of a decrease, $100 to $150 sales. Now, next Axie that I want to talk about is the Disablesaurus. Now, Disablesaurus has been quite popular in season 18, in the off season, and even at the beginning of season 19. The thing about Disablesaurus is that it's really good in the 1v1 scenarios, as you disable 50% of the cards from your opponent. If you go for the max speed of a Disablesaurus, it's going to be 50 speed on a Dusk, and they currently go for $350. Now, that is actually crazy, as just 2 weeks ago they were selling for $600. Now, a lot of people have bred them. You can see the IDs of them, 9.4 million, 9.1. They are being bred like crazy because people saw that they have a large profit margin, so they were a little bit overbred, and now they go for a relatively small price now to compare to what they used to go for. So $350 for a Disablesaurus. And now Disablesaurus is usually going to be paired up with a discard bug. A discard bug at the start of season 19 was close to impossible to obtain, as they were costing like $700, $800 for just a pure bug, which is insane, as no Axies usually cost that, and that's a mistake. Let's go back. So you go for the Pinsect Parasite. You want the fish snack, and the mid lane you want to be a little bit more tanky and protect yourself versus aquas and versus birds. And right at the back, if you want a cheap version, you go for Garish Worm. Garish Worm used to be $300 to $400 as it was nerfed, and so not that many people were going for it. If that ever loads, we can check how much it goes for now. I assume it's not going to be that much. And then if you wanted the real good bugs, you want to go for Sandal or you want to go for Scarab. Now you can see the Garish Worms go for $250. That is actually insane what kind of drop in price these Axies had. They used to go for $350, $450 at least. And if we remove the Garish Worm, if you did that 2 weeks ago, if you remove the Garish Worm, the price would immediately jump to $700, $800 at least, because there was not many bugs in the marketplace. But people realized that you can make a high profit margin, a large profit margin breeding bugs, and they started breeding them like crazy. And now you can get yourself a Sandal discard bug for about $400. And if you really want the Scarab, which I think is the best variation, because you're gonna be countering a lot of teams such as the double zigzag plant or double anemones as well, you can grab that for yourself for $410. So it's still relatively expensive for a pure bug, but it's nowhere near as high of a price as it used to be. If we look at some plants, now one plant that I shown 2 weeks ago was a zigzag cactus hotbot with the Bidens, which is also a pure plant. But it does have probably the best card set that you can get, and I believe it was about $500, maybe $550, because I was wondering whether to sell mine, as I picked it up for $400. But if you want this one right now, you really want 31 speed because of the cactus trigger. You can see right here $320, so about $150 to $200 discount on this particular Axie. So there's plenty of Axies that are gonna be insanely good for the meta right now if you are building teams for yourself or for the scholar that are simply selling at a discount. If you still believe in Axie Infinity and that it's gonna have another influx of players which are gonna come into the play, or they're gonna make a change to breeding or release a new gameplay, and those Axies are gonna get picked up quickly, then this is probably a very good time to invest. Remember, not financial advice, but yeah, there is a large discount going on meta Axies. Now I'm showing you very generic ones. If you want to go into a specific build, then obviously it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but even something like the Bumpy with Bone Sail Nemo is still not going to be going for that expensive. Now we can look for probably like Cute Bunny as the mouthpiece. It's the main mouthpiece, and you can see on a Dusk, not the highest speed one, but if we look at highest speed ones, they probably go for about $500, which is still much cheaper than what it used to. I believe there are 49 speeds, something like that, 50 speed on an Aqua, Yeah, if you look at a dusk like this, it's $630. So that one is still relatively expensive, but they used to be $800 to $900. And the reason why this Axie is so good, because you get a bone sale which draws a card if this Axie shield breaks, and Bumpy recovers 20 shield per turn. So every time your opponent breaks your shield, when it recovers, you get a card draw. Is that intended? Is that not intended? I am not sure. They haven't fixed it for the last season or two, so clearly it's still in the game and it still works. So if you want to pick up a more expensive Axie that's in the meta right now, then you can do that one for yourself. But that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully I have helped you and shown you why Axie Infinity is a good buy right now, or Axies in general are a good buy right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel for daily Axie Infinity content, and I'll see you in the next one.